All right, so
Okay po.
welcome folks to this video. This is Trace Trojano. I am interviewing um, Eb Ryan Magtuba, okay, who is the CEO of RYP Realty, and they won the Apprentice Challenge. And one of the challenges I gave him is raise capital for real estate deals. He is a beginner, just like most of you listening to this video or watching this video. And one of the things that that stop most beginning investors is not being able to raise money for real estate deals. So how do you raise money for deals? There are two things. Number one is how do you find investors, and number two is how do you talk to them. So if you screw any one of these up, then you won't be able to raise money, right? If you can't find investors, the second step is irrelevant. But if you find investors but you talk to them in the wrong way, then you still can't raise money for deals. So let's talk about. So Eb was able to raise 1.5 million pesos uh, for one of the deals, as part of the apprentice challenge. So Eb, talk about what worked for you. How did you find that investor?
For me, in my case, I found the investor in the squeeze page
Mm-hmm.
because my team like market the apprentice challenge number 3 and finding the investors aggressively online.
Mm-hmm.
So including for my teammate blogs Jay Castillo's Foreclosure Philippines.
Mm-hmm. Nice, nice.
And then
Mm-hmm.
one of the investor filled up the form, the squeeze page, and then I found the name in the list, and then I emailed the investor and tried to meet him in personal at
Mm-hmm.
SM.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good, good. So definitely doing online marketing works, and then having that squeeze page to capture the information of the investor help you get that investor, right? But what I tell
Yes,
people
sir.
is, if they don't have investors, the very first thing they need to do is what I call centers of influence networking. And, as simple as looking at your cell phone database, just calling people, and then what you tell them is this magic script here. Who do you know who wants to make 12 to 15% return on their money, right? Email your email address book, your Facebook friends, that will be good too. And then just doing simple word of mouth referral, right? And I know in your case, one investor, uh, her name is Julie, right? Julie actually put a good word for you, right? So
Yes, sir.
that sort of help you build credibility. All right. So next thing we want to talk about is, then how do you raise money for your deals? Is how do you talk to these investors? And for that, some of the things that you mentioned for me in your email is establishing that rapport and trust is very crucial. So how did you establish that trust with your investor?
In my case, Sir Trace, is I I I share my personal experience at my church and my team. So literally at first stance, I did not sell the idea of investing in real estate, but I let the investor know me more. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, in the deeper level.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right.
Uh,
I mean, you did not go and meet the investor and beg for money, So you did not beg for
no,
money,
no, I
right?
did not do
You
that.
did not. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So yeah. So establishing that rapport and trust is very crucial, and because without trust, as you know, I mean, people won't do business with you if they don't trust you, and they won't trust you if they don't know you. So you took the right first step, which is introducing yourself and your team, and what the things that you value and things you believe in. Okay, and then you mentioned in your email about the importance of homework, right? Doing,
Yes.
I guess calculating the numbers. So talk more about that.
And for this part, I calculated the CCR and the return of investment and return on investment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Basically, the whole point why I did that is to show to the investor how safe is the investment.
Mm-hmm.
The whole point is to let the fear factor on the of the investor decrease.
Mm-hmm.
because one of the problem of investors is they have fear.
Right.
So one of my job is to lessen that fear by doing the numbers
Mm-hmm.
and showing to them the numbers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. And most beginning investors, they make the mistake of focusing on the return on investment, right? So they say, hey, this investment will give you 15% return or 20% return or 30% return, okay? But one of the first things that I taught you, and one of the first things that I mentioned to investors, and this is one of the first things you did, is to allay the fear of your investor by telling him that, hey, in the absolute worst case, right, you will still make money, right? And this is why, right, the property is below market value, and because it's below market value, you will actually make more money if the investment goes sour, right? And if
Yes.
in the best case you make a certain percent return, in the worst case, you actually make more money. So it becomes a no-brainer. So that's right. I mean, you did the right things there by focusing on safety first, and then telling the investor, the cash on cash return is this much, and the total return on investment is this much, and again, it is a very safe investment, and you did your homework, and that's how you're able to succeed, as part of this challenge. So anything else you'd like to add, Eb?
I want also to add like communication skills is very critical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so and don't beg. I act as if it's a privilege for the investor to invest in our deal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's
So
right.
I implicitly like express myself in that manner, and then I guess the most of the investors sense that,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Again,
one of the
going back to don't beg for money, right? So most investors think,
yes,
because they don't have any money, that the one with the money makes the gold, right? Or has the upper hand. But really, the deal that you have is unique. The money that an investor has is not unique. So if you have that mentality that, hey, if you want to invest with me, that's good. If not, that's okay too. You don't beg for money, and if you don't beg for money, people want to give you money, which is sort of paradoxical, but it's just the reality. So anyway, sorry to cut you off, but what else did you learn?
I also learned that if you have a little credibility, like just what I experienced, I'm just a newbie.
Mm-hmm.
I leverage credibility
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
through Miss Eden Alemania, through your name,
Mm-hmm.
uh, my teammates Jay Castillo and Brother Bo Sanchez.
Nice, nice. So, yeah, so again, going back, establishing that trust and credibility is very important. And for those of you who are newbies, that's why it's crucial to have a coach who is more experienced than you, so that you can leverage on your coach's credibility and experience, so that, when approaching potential investors, they will trust you more and invest in your deal, more. So chance of you getting the money is a lot easier when you have a coach that you can basically borrow your credibility. And that's what you did. You borrowed my credibility, and borrowed Eden's credibility and Jay's credibility, and with that, it becomes a no-brainer for your investor to invest. So I guess we're running short of time, so we'll end it there. Thanks for your time, Eb, and we will see you
Thank
in
you,
the
Sir
next
Trace.
video.